What's good, Wagering World? It's your boy Five Star in Vegas, broadcasting live as always from beautiful Summerlin, Nevada. In here with my guy, my co-host, the only Sacramento Kings fan I know. What's good, spreader staff?
Oh man, how much basketball did we watch yesterday? American tradition, and it comes through every year. I had so much fun enjoying all those NCAA games. Didn't enjoy the NBA too much, but had a great day yesterday.
Man, I didn't enjoy the NCAA too much. It was some real major upsets yesterday. I lost a couple second halves that I just thought were in the bag. And these couple as soon as I tweeted that the mid majors, after I talked a bunch of noise because we won with
I
Providence,
saw
as
that
soon
one
as I
too.
tweeted that, hey, we're all of the numbers nerds to these mid majors, the mid majors must have heard it, and man, they went crazy. They started smacking. So let's get to yesterday's news and talk a little bit about that.
You know what? And I get what I deserve for betting two lottery teams, right? Because who knows what we're going to get here? A couple things stood out. Wendell Carter Jr. means a lot more to this team. I've talked about kind of the Magic's. Recent play the last 3 weeks actually being pretty well statistically. Without Wendell Carter Jr., that all goes out the window. So, hey, not a bad trade there for the Magic. And then, of course, we were talking right before we went on. Sadiq Bey's dropping 50. I mean,
Come on, man.
I didn't
Stop
handicap
it.
that.
That's how bad the NBA is now. Come on, man.
To be fair, the Magic are the worst team in the league, but I bet between the two worst teams in the league, and I got what I deserved. I probably should have given out a tennis pick, but we got plenty of games tonight, so I can give out two winning teams, the teams that will actually care about what's going on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
floor.
we're gonna wrap up this Friday, man. Continue to be our, even though we both lost yesterday, unfortunately, it's still to be our ninth winning week. We've won all week. This is the first time that we both took an L. So
Yeah.
I had Indiana. Like I said, I cursed myself. I got a little bit too confident because we already know what's happening. After arrogance comes the fall. So I
Hmm.
should have never tweeted talking noise to the mid-major program because I think their coaches went and put it on the bulletin board because they came out smacking, man. St. Mary's locked Indiana up. When I say they played great defense, and then another thing that after right before tip, I started thinking about this as a factor that I didn't put into my handicapping. Indiana has played a lot of games over the last 2 weeks, man. They played a lot of games, and they just played 2 days ago. Before that, they won the Big Ten tournament. They had a deep run in that one. Um, they looked tired. Second half, they were finished, man. And St. Mary's came out early, put the clamps on them, and just imposed their will. Shout out to St. Mary's and their coach, who's a vet. He's been there forever, man, and he does a great job out there in where are they at? In they're
St.
right
Mary's,
outside
Bay
LA.
Area,
Yeah, where are they at? They're right outside in the Bay.
right
They're
outside of
in
San Francisco.
yeah, out of I've been through the campus. I'm trying to think of the name of
Yeah.
that town. It's a beautiful area. But anyway, yeah, I actually went to their campus before and everything. I just can't remember right now. I'm having a brain fog
I
still.
am too, actually, and I
Yeah,
should
I
know
know
that.
exactly where they're at, man. It'll come to me a little bit later. And they're in a beautiful town. Though. It's a beach town, like right on the water and stuff, in the Bay Area. But anyway, St. Mary's did a great job, man. And they came through, and unfortunately, we went on two yesterday, and we apologize about that. Let's get this right.
Hold on,
Uh,
real quick. I got
mhm.
one more off yesterday's news.
Okay.
What was the biggest upset yesterday? Had to be Iowa, right?
No, Kentucky.
Kentucky bigger than Iowa, huh?
Bigger than Iowa because the reason why is Richmond had won the A10. Uh, Richmond A10 is a little bit better consideration than that conference that St. Peter's is out of, the little New York
Yeah.
conference, Metros, whatever it is, conference that's up top in New York. Those are like city schools, dude. Like they shouldn't even be competing with Kentucky. And those kids came to play for St. Peter's. Every time I check, I didn't bet on the game, but every time I checked it, I was like, these kids are still in the game. They're still in the game. Next thing I know, it was overtime because you know how there's so many games going on. I was at Caesar's Palace watching the games later that evening, and when Kentucky lost, and I watched Iowa at home. I saw from the beginning of that game they were going to have issues. The refs didn't do them any favors. Iowa likes to play a free-wheeling offense. They like to run, get up and down the court, use their versatility against you. Man, the refs let Richmond get into them early. I tweeted like the very first, I want to say 5 minutes, like, hey, I was going to have to tough it up in this game because they were letting them play mall ball. And Richmond was really, really, really playing aggressively, really playing physical, really fouling. But the refs were letting it go on both sides, and Iowa wasn't cut out for the physical nature that Richmond brought to them. So just along with those two upsets, Iowa, uh, UConn, and Kentucky. Hey man, the books made a major come up. I know Iowa. Everyone liked Iowa. I liked Iowa. I mean, Noops talked about it. We all liked Iowa to come out that region, and they're sent home early, man. After a great start, and you saw UConn went home to New Mexico State. I just was tweeting with a guy who's a alumni from UConn, and I told him before the tournament started that I worried about them because Hurley, like his brother, is a great recruiter, but he's too emotional. He's not an X and O guy already, and it's crazy because his dad coached at St. Anthony's in New Jersey. For people that think they know a little bit more about X and O's, but they're actually really emotional guys who just really recruit well, and their programs, they don't run tight ships at their program, and it showed. And I knew they were going to have some problems. I didn't give out that game, but I did play an in game in New Mexico State. Did their thing, man, and they sent home Lil Hurley early in the tournament. So a lot of big upsets. This happens every year, man. So brace yourself for some more of the madness today on this Friday. What we got for the ball and parlay today?
All right, let's jump into it. And rather than trying to handicap two lottery teams, I got a team that's fifth in the East going against the best team in the NBA. That's the Phoenix Suns. They're at home against the Chicago Bulls. Chicago Bulls off to a bad road trip so far, 0-2 so far. They lost to the Jazz, not too bad, but they lost to the Kings, man. So that just shows you where this team is right now. You know, I know that the Kings do play better well at home, but still here, you know. And what are the Bulls still missing? What was the difference in this team? You know, they were all offense last year. They added Caruso and Lonzo Ball. Then they had that balance, right? And that's when they were in first, second place, right? Really, the talk of the NBA for their turnaround, because the other teams that were up there in the standings with them were expected to be that way, where the Bulls were kind of this wild card. With Lonzo Ball out, the team hasn't been the same. You know, I think they missed this point of attack defense, and when you don't have point of attack defense, right? And then you don't have rim protection because Vukovic is, I'd say he's average, maybe below average, because some of these guys that can't score at all are probably better defenders. You know, you just can't get it done on the defensive end. That's going to be a terrible matchup going against the Phoenix Suns team that we know does everything right. As far as like, you're talking about, your buddy's a coach watching the NBA. I mean, he's probably not going to find as many flaws in the way that Phoenix Suns and their players approach the game. You got to give credit to Monty Williams, kind of, a new name here, but we have to consider him among the top coaches for what he's done with this Phoenix team. And then, you'd say, oh, well, Chris Paul's there. Chris Paul's there. He's the coach on the floor. Well, Chris Paul's been out and the team's still been performing. So I like the Phoenix Suns -5 at home against the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, I like that one too. So we're going to go with the Phoenix Suns, the best team in the NBA this year. They've been able to maintain even with all the injuries they have. When is CP3 coming back, Spread?
It should be right around. It'll either be the week before the playoffs start, or maybe they just hold them out to the first round. But it was 6 to 8 weeks the week before the All-Star break, so it's right around when the playoffs will begin.
Okay, sounds good. They those guys are getting ready to prepare for hopefully a long playoff run. Man, they're trying to get back and try to right things after losing the championship that they pretty much had in the bag last year. They were up with 2-0, right? Against Milwaukee, right?
Were they? I can't remember off the top of my head. I was
Yeah,
really deep
I
into
believe they
Milwaukee,
were.
so I
Because I
wasn't
remember
happy if
the
they
reason
were.
why I know that is because I remember we were talking about it, me and a lot of my guys from Houston, about, hey, CP3 is about to get his first ring because of the first couple games. I want to say Phoenix dominated, and then after that, Milwaukee just took over and Giannis imposed his will. I don't think they have anything really to match up with players like Giannis on the team. A lot of people.
Fair, not a lot of people do.
Yeah, a lot of experts believe that if AD doesn't get hurt in the playoffs last year, that the Lakers would have continued their excellence, and that their kind of downfall began at the moment when he got hurt against Phoenix, and then Phoenix kind of took the West from them, and then since then really dominated them, on the West. So, so spread's going to go with the best team in the NBA right now, the Phoenix Suns, at home. And I'm going to go with Michigan State, man. Michigan State -1. This is one of those nerdy plays, again, where the books have crunched the numbers and know that a lot of you guys who want to be so smart are going to overthink this and jump on Davidson. It's a horrible bet if you do. I could be wrong. That's why you play the game. But in my opinion, and I trust myself with the way that I win on these games and the way that I scout different players and different talents as well as the coaching. It's no way that Davidson can keep the game within 1 point against Michigan State. Michigan State's a deep team. They have so many wings and athletic players that can beat you off the dribble as well as shoot the three. They got size everywhere. And the thing is, not only are they bigger, much more physically opposing on the wings and in the backcourt than Davidson, they're also more athletic on top of that. So we got the bigger, stronger, and faster players with Michigan State. Davidson is led by a kid that actually was with Michigan State, Foster Lawyer. He was played with Michigan State last season. He's kind of sparked the Davidson team this year. He's averaging 16 points a game. He had to leave Michigan State because it was just too much talent in the backcourt there, and also Izzo and him were having all types of problems. I remember last year, every time he tried to play Lawyer, he'd end up in his face, screaming at him, yelling at him, having to pull him because of a turnover, a bad shot. The kid didn't perform well under pressure in big games in the Big Ten. That's why he took a step down in competition and went to the A-10. He's done well with Davidson, but I expect Michigan State to bottle him up. I don't expect him to do much at all. A lot of procrastinators, are saying that, hey, they have this guy, Lawyer. He knows the whole Michigan State playbook. He's going to give it to Davidson's coach and all that. That doesn't matter. I think it'll be just the opposite. Instead, I think Michigan State's coaching staff has so much familiarity with him in practice, his habits, good and bad, that they're going to really give him a lot of problems, and the Davidson's going to have issues getting into their offense. They have a couple big men that are foreigners, guys who are from Europe, that are very good, very skilled players, but they play on the ground, and they're going to be facing Marcus Bingham, who's 7 foot, NBA prospect for Michigan State, jumps out the gym, leads the Big 10 in block shots, can shoot the three. So I'm sure that he's going to give them all types of problems because the center for Dayton does not move well. He's a back-to-the-back center. He's an old-school center with, hook on both sides of his shoulders type player. He's going to have problems with Bingham. Bingham is going to bottle him up. As I said, this is a nerd play. Davidson wasn't even the best team in their conference. Each time that they faced a team with similar athleticism in Dayton, they didn't play well. And I expect this to continue now. I expect Michigan State to dominate this game. And as the game goes on, with Davidson only playing 7 players, they have a very short bench. They're going to wear them down with their size and with their strength and with their skill. So, and one of the better gifts that we're going to get from the books, we're going to take Michigan State -1. I think the book, when they made this number, they did it strictly off of stats and off of analytics. They definitely did not watch these teams play. The last couple of weeks, they have not watched them play, because if they had, there's no way they would have put this number out here. In my opinion, Michigan State should be at the minimum -6. So we got a 5-point differential in my system on this game. Also, Davidson, which doesn't bode well for them, they're one of the worst teams in college basketball defending the three, and Michigan State is top 15 in shooting the three. They have a kid, Max Christie. I thought he was Christie's kid from Sacramento, but ends up not Ken at all. But he kind of favors him in everything. But Max Christie, he's a hell of a freshman, one of the top 3-point shooters in the Big Ten, and I think he's going to have a big day today. I also look for Holgert, the backup point guard for Michigan State. He's going to get a lot of run because their starting point guard is banged up. This kid is strong. He's like 6'4", 6'5", muscular, can shoot the three, can drive. He's going to post up Foster lawyer and give him all types of issues. Honestly, I don't see this game being close. I see very much like how Michigan pulled away yesterday in the second half against Colorado State, a much better team than Davidson. I see the same thing going on with Michigan State with them pulling away at the end. They're aware that Michigan won. They're also aware that of the upsets that happened yesterday, so they'll be very focused. So we're going to go with spreads taking Suns -5 at home against the Bulls. I'm going with Michigan State -1. Just to wrap up this week of the wagering world. We'll see you guys on Monday. As always, please follow us on Twitter at Spread ASTAIRE on Twitter and at 5-Star in Vegas. Spell out the 5. Also subscribe to both our YouTube channels. His is Spread ASTAIRE. Mine is 5-Star in Vegas Sports Investments. We're here exclusively on SCOON TV Monday through Friday, every day bringing you the best winners. We're looking to continue the streak. This is the 9th straight winning week. It's up to you if you don't catch this free money, man. Keep going on these little shows and being entertained. But if you want to win and get some good information, come here. Anything for the people, Spread?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to all weekend NCAA basketball.
All weekend, we're going to run it up, man. You guys have a great weekend. The best of luck to you all. And we'll see you guys on Monday.